what's up Yoon-Fam? It is I,
Mark Yoon.
and today I'm bringing another hopefully exciting video. So what I got for you today is a little bit more of an explanation of the goings-on in the Soul Calibur Soul Chronicles that have been releasing from DLC 13, a little bit more of my perspective, and a little bit more of the goings-on of what it could be leading towards Soul Calibur 7, and also just a little bit of information and what I thought about the stories. So to start off, the profile in the museum library for Ishka Act finally unlocked, so I'm going to be reading that because it's going to lead into my first topic today, which is going to be these entities, these 8 entities that are based on numbers. So we're going to start reading it now together, and then we'll go from there. Ishka Act. Deep inside the cursed sword lies the so-called mind, quote-unquote, of Soul Edge, a formless maelstrom of souls who fell prey to the weapon. It is here that they, quote-unquote, are born, amalgamations of souls once possessed by the sword given form. Though they, quote-unquote, share a collective consciousness, they each represented different souls. For some time they wandered the inner world of the sword, neither man nor beast. However, with the fracture of the cursed sword at the end of the 16th century, one being was awash with purpose. It formed into a silver-haired boy and entered the warped mind of the swordsman carrying the blade. It is there that he latched onto the man's desires and forced him to wield Soul Edge with reckless abandon in hopes it could harvest more souls for the blade. Afterward, the cursed sword would suffer a setback. Its favored host would be bested by the spirit sword, and the cursed sword itself would be rendered into several fragments. And then that they who wandered in the world of chaos within the blade would find purpose once again, though not as one, but as many. They would have earthly vessels to house their once ethereal forms and allow them to traverse the outside world. Though they possess no ability to fight in the outside world, they can make use of astral chaos and work in the shadows to pair with Malefested and assist or manipulate them. They serve as shepherds of sorts, powerful Malefested sword-bearer-based monikers, herding them into conflicts across the land that will reap the souls and revive the cursed sword. The being known as Act, meaning 8, appears as a little girl and has been seen in the Ming Empire, Korea, and in Japan. The Malefested she calls the Sword of Cursed Flames in her company could very well be the one with whom she is paired. Given her name, it naturally follows there are at least 6 other beings like her, those numbered 2 through 7. Should they all find Malefested from whom they seek to pair, then it follows that there exist 7 sword Malefested in Nightmare's new dark force. Now, we saw that Gabak, the Sword of the Cursed Flames, is paired with her. Now, even though she seemed to have fight, like I told you in the last video, she doesn't actually fight herself. She just possesses beings or takes on the physical embodiment of other beings. That's why she took on the embodiment of Cervantes, Nightmare, and even Inferno. But then she sought to fuse at the end of Hwang's story with Gabak, making it a more powerful entity in and of itself that actually rivaled our heroes. We see this here, some other inklings of other members of this group, as Act is talking to Gabak, and she says, "Sigh, this is quite the failure. Vier and Sex will no doubt make fools of us, I guess leading towards another one of the shepherds and her sword that she is following herself, or he." This also lends credence to a possibility that maybe Viola is one of these numbered beings that has this shepherd ability, but maybe it was pushed on her unbeknownst to her, so she's not fully under the control of Nightmare. This would also lead to how she lost her memories in the last timeline. Maybe we see something similar to that. And then her fused paired being, rather, would possibly be Zwei, since he's so heavily referenced and implemented in this story. I can undoubtedly see that being the case. And then we have further implications when we have Wan Soo-hyun, who actually shares the same family name as Gabak, because he's Wan Gabak. Now, one thing I want to note is I've seen a lot of people talk about this. They've mentioned Eastern and Western in this. They're talking about Eastern and Western Korea, not the East of the world and the West of the world, because all of the West, or the Westerners, quote-unquote, they all have Korean names as well. So I believe these are divided in factions. It's supposed to be a pseudo-reference to North and South Korea's relationship, how differing their ideals and values are. They just flipped it and made it east and west versus north and south to make it less, I guess, easy to spot. But anyway, Won Soo-hyun, who is like the Lady of the Water, she is the person who taught Hwang the Taoist techniques and the ability to give him the Talisman of Iron Will. She actually names him at the end the Secret Royal Inspector, even though she says that she doesn't fully have faith in him yet, and she gives him a new mission. Obviously, this is leading towards either finding out these hosts or finding the quote-unquote cursed swords, which are Nightmare's new elite group. But that's yet to be seen. Another thing that I really liked about this, besides like Gobok's like cool-looking form and Hwang's superhero role that he plays within this game, is the new budding relationship between Hwang Sung-gyung and Sung-mina. Now, originally, they really didn't care for each other at all. They were just kind of like friendly. But it seems now that their relationship is actually going to grow into something more, as we see Hwang himself in his storyline saying that she's like a sister to him, but wondering if that's all there is between them. We also see a lot of flirtation that wasn't usually the case in the past timeline. We see Sung-mina really coming into her own because she's worried about Hwang. She even goes off in search of him, and I know that's something that could be familial as well, but the way they're talking to each other is really about like their relationship coming to fruition, or at least exploring the possibilities of which would make her father, Han Myung, obviously happy because he's been wanting them to get married forever, Hwang being the best disciple that he's had, and obviously with his daughter taking over the dojo dojang would probably immensely make him happy. I just think it's really sweet, and it's also really nice to actually see Sung-mina back in her hanbok, similar to the one that she was wearing back in Soul Calibur 2 as her extra outfit. It's just nice that she actually has some Korean touches here and there, and we see Hwang go back to his like assassin mode from Soul Calibur 2, where he's not just wearing the same costume as he is now. He has like a prerequisite costume in a flashback rather that tells the story, where he looks pretty much like the assassin from Soul Calibur 2. So that was also nice. So Soo-hyun obviously is going to be setting him on this new mission, whether it be, and it turns out that like I like the use of the magic and the talismans, but there's more to Soo-hyun than possibly meets the eye, because I'm not saying nefariously, but she does meet with Zaselmel, and they do discuss not only Hwang's future role, but also the role of things going forward, implying that Hwang is going to play a much bigger role in the things going on leading up to Soul Calibur 7 and things of that nature, which is why they have him starting to go on these missions. Now, here's some speculation, which I'm going to point out as pure speculation by me. There's no facts to back this up. This is just the way I see things going. With these wandering cursed blades that are being charged with being looked after by these entities that are from within Soul Blade, or these manifestations, I would rather say, of its mind, similar people like Act. We also see that this can have implications towards other things, because she doesn't fight, really. She's just one of these things. So what if all of these entities come back together into one mind? And Algol uses that as a vessel to possess to come into this timeline. If he leaves the astral fissure and he absorbs their power along with the shards that have been being gathered by them up into this point that are now full of power, I think this is a perfect way to enter him into this timeline and see how things would turn out from him. And I think he would be an awesome baddie this time around. I'm not sure if he's going to have any roles to play with his prior timeline. Like, I'm sure it's going to be more of the same, but now maybe he's pissed that he lost after he tried to resurrect Arcturus and stuff like that. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I played 5, so I don't really remember too much of the story. But I think that there is a lot of evidence towards that notion. We could see other things that are probably dissimilar from that, but that's just my theory of how he's going to get to being in this timeline. I don't think he's just going to pop up. I think he's actually going to use these characters I think they're going to be playing through maybe the first quarter, first half of the story in Soul Calibur 7. That's going to be like the way getting around it. Zwei is going to come to our side or something similar like that. Maybe he falls in love with Viola. Anything, something akin to that. I mean, that's just a projection of what I think is going to happen. But we're going to see the Season 3 characters, like, rounding about the other aspects of the story so that we can come see their stories all coalesce together in this new timeline. But that's pretty much all I wanted to cover today. I just wanted to add on a little bit of that, read up on Ishka so that we get more information on her, or like her role in these entities. So what do you think about these entities? What do you think about the story thus far? I'm really enjoying the direction this is going. I haven't seen Soul Calibur written this well in a long time, and it's making me extremely excited for the future. Any and all thoughts are always welcome in the comment section down below, and also feel free to join my Discord so we can keep the conversation going on over there. There's a lot of people over there, so we can get these theories pretty much out there, and everyone can talk about it amongst ourselves and together. And also you can drop me video ideas for the future. With that being said, we're going to bring this video to a close. I want to thank you for watching, and as always, I love it. Thank you.
And thank you.